Hello, my name is Kumar Varun, and this is called Random Musings, a series where a guest and I talk about different topics from life, universe, and everything. My first guest on this series is Sumaira Sheikh, one of India's best known comedians and also very prolific writer. So, without further ado, let me talk to Sumaira Sheikh. Hi, Sumaira.
Hello, hi. Thank you so
Hi.
much for having me. Thank you so much.
Yes. So, straight बात करना शुरू कर देते हैं, ठीक है?
Oh,
सुमेरा,
sure.
और मेरा एक मोटिव इस पूरे सीरीज में, जब लोग आगे भी देखेंगे या सुनेंगे, जो ये ऑडियो प्लेटफॉर्म पे सुन रहे हैं, वो ये है कि हम कई बार ऐसी चीजों के बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं या बहुत कम बात करते हैं। तो इस पूरे सीरीज में होपफुली आप इन टुडेज केस और मैं कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स टच करें जो शायद हम ज्यादा जिसके बारे में हमने बात नहीं की है, और शायद जो हमें सुन रहे हैं वो कुछ नया सीखें, कुछ नया पर्सपेक्टिव मिले, कुछ नई जानकारी मिले। तो देखते हैं, ठीक है?
Yes.
मेरा पहला टॉपिक जो है सुमेरा आपके साथ, वो एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिसके बारे में दुनिया फिलहाल काफी बात कर रही है, और जो मेरा एक थॉट है हमेशा से वो ये है कि दो इंसानों का ग्रीफ कभी कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते। स्पेशली ऐसा कहते हैं कि डेथ शायद सबसे बड़ा ग्रीफ होता है किसी के जीवन में, और बट न चाहते हुए भी कहीं ना कहीं ये कंपैरिजन तो आ ही जाता है। जैसे
Yeah.
अगर मेरे दादाजी की डेथ हुई है तो
Yeah.
ऐसा लगता है कि वो मेरे लिए सब कुछ थे, बट मैं किसी को जब बताता हूँ तो ऐसा लगता है कि उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ जी, वो 70-80 साल के बाद एक 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 जिसको कहते हैं, जब वो जाते हैं तो ऐसा लगता है ही लिव्ड अ गुड लाइफ वगैरह
Yeah.
वगैरह हम बोलते हैं। या फिर किसी को कोई रोग होता है तो लगता है चलो ठीक है, कोई ऐसी डिजीज हो गई तो डेथ हो गया वगैरह वगैरह। और आजकल तो पिछले 1-2 साल से तो डेथ एक नंबर सा बन गया है, जिसमें कि हम डेली ही किसी न किसी की न्यूज हमेशा सुनते हैं। बट मैं आपसे इस टॉपिक से इसलिए बात कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि आपने इसको बहुत ही क्लोज देखा है अपने फैमिली, स्पेशली एक ऐसे इंसान को जो कि बहुत यंग थे और डेथ भी बहुत अननेचुरल हुआ, मतलब इट वाजंट कि कोई डिजीज हो गई या ऐसा कुछ हो गया। तो मैं बहुत क्यूरियस हूँ, और मेरा एक 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 ये जानना भी है आपसे, स्पेशली क्योंकि आप एक आर्टिस्ट भी हो और ऊपर से आप एक कॉमेडियन हो। तो हाउ डिड यू डील विथ ग्रीफ, एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली as a comedian, did it affect you professionally, did it affect you personally? Of course I assume it did.
Yeah.
बट मैं आपकी वो जर्नी जानना चाहता हूँ कि वो सब कैसा हुआ, क्या हुआ, वहां से शुरू करना चाहता हूँ आज की।
ठीक है। कुमार वरुण, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको कुमार वरुण बुलाती हूँ। केवी बहुत अजीब लगता है मुझे बुलाना, ठीक है? लोग केवी कहते हैं, नहीं यार कुमार वरुण क्या प्यारा नाम है। तो सबसे पहले तो थैंक यू। मैंने किसी से इस बारे में बात नहीं की है, स्पेशली लाइक publicly तो कभी भी नहीं, but this is the first time and I think we had this conversation. I was like, Varun, I think if I have to talk about this to anybody it will be you. You're like my Oprah. एक जैसे लोगों को सेलिब्रिटीज को कभी बात करनी होती है वो ओपरा को पहले फोन करते हैं कि हाँ भाई इस बारे में बात करनी थी, whatever. But basically 2017 की बात है, when my brother passed away. We're talking about my brother. He was 28 years old at that time and I am 25 now. So every year, like, he was 7 years elder to me always in my life, right? But now he's dead, so he like paused at 28. So now that I'm 25, in my head I'm just thinking like I'm just like he's just 3 years elder to me now. Like every year that gap will just reduce and there'll be a point in my life where I'll be elder to him. That is just like I don't know how to do that because he's the eldest, right? So in my family, like, I'm the middle child and his role in the family was just like when my parents are fighting, we'll always look at him and he'll resolve it. So when my parents fight, like, I just avoid it, and my younger brother is so anxious. Sometimes there are times when I'm like, fuck, where is he? Like, why is he not here? He didn't live like what ajeeb moments. Like I don't know how to like approach this topic. But basically, when he passed away, I was 21 years old. And at that time, my friends were also of course 21, and it was so much for them to deal with because everything they dealt with in life was either breakup or losing a job or losing internships. That losing like a loved one was too much for them, so a lot of them backed off. Like a lot of them were like, hey, how are you, but like not regularly keeping in touch. And now that, so after so many years I look back, I'm like, it was too much to deal with. I understand. And I lost a lot of friendships over that one year, especially like the 1 year that I was grieving over his death. I lost contact with so many people because, and then later on, आप जब उसमें बीच में रहते हो, ठीक है, आपको समझ नहीं आता है कि क्या चल रहा है. Like there's too much confusion, and very slowly things like थोड़ा बहुत become clear. So like now I understand. Like I read so much about it, little bit at least, to like help understanding my own emotions. And one very profound thing someone said was that grieving it has so much heat. It brings so much heat in people's life that it burns away everything that is unnecessary. So the person changes a lot. Like a person who's gone through something like this, like divorce ho, yeah, losing someone, they change so much because their priorities completely change. Because now they know all that was important was for me to pick up that call that I didn't. Like, because I was like, I'll still get time in life to do it. Like, I'll not, मैं like अभी नहीं करनी मुझे बात, ठीक है, मेरे पास और भी important काम है. And then like now I just look back, I'm like, it was just a cup of coffee is the most important thing, and people like don't do it. So my priorities shifted a lot. Like I changed a lot as a person, and it was too much for my 21-year-old friends. That's why I came close to people who were slightly more experienced in life. How does it affect my professional life? What it did to me was, I understood that only few people are important in your, like I said, priorities were completely reset. I still don't do jokes about it on stage, but like, because I'm still processing it. Like sometimes I think that I'm still in denial, but it's fine. Like it's okay to take years to overcome something like this and deal with it. Like initially the first year of it was so frustrating because I thought that I'm not getting over it fast. Why am I not done? Why am I not sad now? But the truth is that you take years to actually and to just get to like just come to a place where you are functioning without too much sadness. Is it making sense what I'm saying? Plus I also realized that your loved one deserves that much, at least. Like I think like your loved one deserves that much heartbreak. Like your loved one deserves you to be that sad, because was your relationship not worth anything? So every time I'm grieving, I think about, I'm missing him as he was, and he would have loved this, of course. Like if I die and nobody like misses me, I'd be like, "Arre, क्या मैं इतनी भी important नहीं थी क्या? आप एक रात में नहीं रहो." So, and it's also, I don't know, it's very weird, but Keanu Reeves helped me a lot with overcoming grief, because you tend to seek out similar experiences and you like to read similar things. Ki, what is this? This experience is too much. And Keanu Reeves has such profound quotes. Like I don't think मैं उसके quotes properly quote कर पाऊंगी, but अगर मैं ऊपर से बताऊं, basically उसके grief के quotes ये थे कि it's such a beautiful thing because it reignites your connection with someone who's not even there. Like it's such a strong emotion. So I've learned to like respect my grief over the years now. I still don't know what it has done to me professionally. I'm still finding out. But personally, it has definitely reset my priorities. Professionally, I'll tell you one thing. I was writing Pushpavali at that time when my brother passed away. And that show, the first season at least, is very, very important to me because I wanted to quit comedy. I wanted to quit everything. And I just wanted to just like barbaad ho jao, like don't do anything else. But that show sort of gave me life and kept me going. It was so important for me to go to work, maybe not even work a lot of times, like just sit in the room. And that writer's room gave me like home, away from like this home. Like I used to go from this house, I used to cry in this house, go to that writer's room and again cry. Like I was like in middle of discussions, मैं बस रो रही हूँ. Like after a point, everybody in the writers like Sumukhi, Naveen, everybody just got like used to it. They were just like, अब सुनैरा रोएगी थोड़े टाइम के लिए because हमने ये topic निकाली है. But it really helped me. Like for me, that was therapy, where it was just, I would just start crying, and then they would, after a point, it was just a joke also. Ki, come on, now you will cry, will you not? Second season, I was of course in a much better place, but first season, Pushpavali was very, very important. Like I had something to look forward to, so I kept going for that reason.
Wow. दो चीजें मुझे इसमें बहुत रिलेटेबल लगी अपार्ट फ्रॉम लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट यू सेड। एक तो जो प्रायोरिटीज होती हैं, स्पेशली वन समवन डाइज इन योर फैमिली, लाइक यू टॉक्ड अबाउट द फोन कॉल थिंग, which is so
Yeah,
relatable because
yeah,
like you know my story, like for me मेरे दादाजी सब कुछ ही थे because of my parents and whatever it was। तो कई बार हम लोग उनका फोन आता है और हम इग्नोर कर देते हैं कि
hmm,
बाद में कर लेंगे यार, वी ऑल्सो नो कि क्या ही इंपॉर्टेंट होगा,
yeah,
ठीक है। और आई थिंक जो सबसे बड़ा रिग्रेट रहता है, जो स्पेशली आपने भी बोला और मेरे दिमाग भी है, वो यही है कि बार बार लगता है कि यार फोन उठा लेना चाहिए था उस दिन, यू
yeah,
नो। एंड
yeah.
देन इट सॉर्ट ऑफ चेंजेस योर पर्सपेक्टिव, क्योंकि उसके बाद जब भी मेरी मम्मी ने फोन किया है, जब भी,
Hmm,
मैंने
hmm, hmm.
हमेशा उठाया।
Yeah.
आई एम लाइक कि मुझे ये रिग्रेट वापस नहीं चाहिए लाइफ में। तो वो एक बड़ी अच्छी चीज थी। दूसरी चीज, आपने फिर मेरे ट्रॉमा की भी बात की, और मेरे साथ दो चीजें साथ में हो गई थी, मुझे अभी भी याद है कि मैं आई थिंक 18 जनवरी को कोर्ट में गया था, और 19 जनवरी को दादाजी का अंतिम संस्कार था, और 1 फरवरी को यानी कि 12 दिन के अंदर मैं अपना पहला स्टैंड अप रिकॉर्ड करने वाला था, ठीक है। तो वो डेट तो काफी पहले राहुल और मैंने फिक्स कर दिया था। तो वहां अंतिम संस्कार हुआ, फिर बाल मुड़वाए, फिर मैं आया और मैं राहुल को फोन किया और मैंने कहा वो बैंगलोर वाला शो कैंसिल कर देंगे, कैसे करूंगा यार 12 दिन में, दो चीजें सडनली जीवन से चली गई। तो राहुल ने बड़ी अच्छी चीज बोली थी कि ट्राई करते हैं, ट्राई करते हैं, रिकॉर्डिंग अच्छी नहीं आई तो नहीं करेंगे, क्या हो गया, नहीं डालेंगे यूट्यूब पे। बट थैंकफुली वो रिकॉर्ड किया और अच्छा हुआ और सब कुछ अच्छा हुआ और व्हाटएवर। तो इसलिए मैं काम पे आ रहा था, क्योंकि कई बार हम जैसे लोग और बहुत से ऐसे लोग काम को अपना वो बना लेते हैं, एक
Hmm,
स्केप मैकेनिज्म बोल लो या कोपिंग मैकेनिज्म बोल लो।
hmm.
जैसे आपने बोला कि आप रोते थे, फिर आप राइटर्स रूम में जाते थे, वहां लिखते लिखते रोने लगते थे, और वो ऐसा हम दोनों के साथ ऐसा काफी हुआ है कि हम ऐसा काम कर रहे, दोस्तों से बात कर रहे, रोने लग गए, फिर वापस काम करने लग गए। तो यहाँ से मैं आपके काम के बारे में बात करता हूँ, क्योंकि आपने आप न, one of those few people in Indian comedy है, and let me explain why I say you are so unique, because it ऐसा ही लगना चाहिए कि आप गेस्ट है तो आप सबसे यूनिक हो। आप यूनिक मुझे ऐसा लगता है इसलिए भी हो क्योंकि न सिर्फ आप एक अच्छे और स्टैब्लिश्ड स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन हो, आप एक अच्छे राइटर भी हो। एंड व्हेन आई से अ राइटर, आई मीन अ प्रॉपर राइटर। एंड लेट मी एक्सप्लेन दिस टू पीपल हु आर वाचिंग और हियरिंग दिस, इज बिकॉज बहुत से कॉमेडियंस ने राइटिंग की है, ठीक है। छोटे स्केचेस लिखे हैं लोगों ने, बहुत से कॉमेडियंस ने अपने खुद के शोज लिखे हैं, जिसमें उन्होंने खुद एक्ट किया है या फिर उन्होंने क्रिएट किया है। बट आप वो यूनिक कॉमेडियन हो जिन्होंने बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें लिखी हैं जो आपने क्रिएट नहीं की है, जिसके आप लीड एक्टर नहीं हो, और आपकी राइटिंग काफी प्रोलिफिक है। आपने स्केचेस लिखे हैं, आपने शोज के लिए राइटिंग की है, और जैसा आपने कहा पुष्पावली एक पूरा फिक्शन शो है। तो व्हाट आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम यू सुमेरा इज स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी लिखना, क्योंकि वो भी राइटर ही है, ठीक है। तो कई बार लोग अच्छे कॉमेडियन को देख के बोलते हैं कि ये बहुत अच्छा राइटर भी है, बट दे आर रेफरिंग टू देयर स्टैंड अप सेट,
Yeah.
राइट। आप फिक्शन राइटिंग भी करते हो और अपना स्टैंड अप ऑब्वियसली आप लिखते हो। तो इन दोनों में ऐसा कुछ आपने देखा, कुछ डिफरेंस है, या फिर स्टैंड अप राइटिंग ने आपको फिक्शन राइटिंग में कहीं पे हेल्प किया, या फिक्शन राइटिंग ने स्टैंड अप में हेल्प किया? ओवरऑल एज अ राइटर मैं आपका
Hmm.
पर्सपेक्टिव जानना चाहता था अबाउट डिफरेंट थिंग्स दैट यू राइट।
Oh. तो सबसे पहले तो answering the question कि is there a difference between the two? Definitely. Sorry, before I give you this answer, I wanted to say this, तो इसलिए मैं कह देती हूँ कि कुमार रिमेम्बर कि जब आपका स्टैंड अप वीडियो निकला था, मेरा भी स्टैंड अप वीडियो निकला था, लाइक हमारे स्टैंड अप वीडियोस भी अब लगभग साथ में निकले थे, एंड आई रिमेम्बर आपका स्टैंड अप वीडियो ट्रेंड कर रहा था, was in a trending number 1, it was trending, I remember, and it was also during Pushpali's shoot, because you had
Yeah,
come to the
yeah,
shoot, and I remember seeing you and I was like, your video was trending, and you were like, yes, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
So I was so happy that it was, and I was so happy it did so well, and because I was like, you need this, we need we need this right now.
yeah.
So it was very important that video, I remember how important it was. Talking about how different stand-up and fiction writing is, they're very different, बिकॉज जब आप जोक्स लिखते हो, जो स्टैंड अप बेसिकली स्टैंड अप के जो जोक्स होते हैं वो आप खुद के लिए लिखते हो और अपनी खुद की वॉइस के लिए लिखते हो, लाइक यू राइट व्हाट यू फाइंड फनी, बट फिक्शन में द सबसे बड़ा problem I faced like in the initial weeks of writing fiction was that when I was writing jokes, I was still writing for myself and not for the character. Like character कैसे बात करेगा, character कैसे बोलेगा. तो जब मैं लिखती थी dialogues, मैं jokes लिख लेती थी and everybody in the room would laugh कि वाह क्या बढ़िया क्या joke लिखा है, इसे निकालना पड़ेगा क्योंकि like why will the character suddenly say this out of nowhere? There is no setup, story आगे नहीं जा रही है. तो मुझे थोड़ा टाइम, आई मीन ये तो ऑफ कोर्स दिस वाज जस्ट लाइक लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस ओनली, एंड ऑफ कोर्स लाइक माय राइटर्स, माय हेड राइटर्स Sumukhi and Naveen, they were all like really good and they like really taught me a lot of things. So basically character work, what is the character, understand the character, and every scene takes the story forward, which is something you don't have in stand up because stand up is so selfish. You only care about yourself, like you go up on stage. इसीलिए बहुत बुरा लगता है ना जब आप स्टैंड अप कर रहे होते हैं और कोई हैकल कर देता है, क्योंकि you're like ये तो मेरा टाइम है ना, like this is not your, you, why are you speaking like this, it's about me, my it's so important to your ego. So I think that writing for a character is different because you're thinking in somebody else's voice, and in dialogues also and jokes also, and taking every scene like story wise forward. That is your fiction writing journey in every scene and every dialogue you write. With stand up you write jokes that you find funny and you think that nahi ye mujhe karna chahiye. Also stand up mein when you're on stage and your joke fails, you fail, like this is your personal failure. Like कोई नहीं है आपके आसपास could be like नहीं ये joke मैंने लिखा था please, ये इसको बुरा नहीं लगना चाहिए on stage. You are fail alone, you succeed alone in stand up. But in writing like fiction, it is such a community thing. Like a show belongs to everybody. Like the show is not just me. A show has its own ego. Like it's the show is, I think, most important. Like it's the lead is not important, nobody is important, is the show. Like Sumukhi once said that. Sumukhi was like, you don't need the show, the show doesn't need people, you need the show. So always remember that in life when you write other shows also, which is something that I always remember.
I think हाँ आप मैंने भी as an actor बहुत लोग ऐसा पूछते हैं कि एक्टिंग ज़्यादा एंजॉय करते हो या स्टैंड अप, और वो बहुत ही सिमिलर वो है क्योंकि एक्टिंग में रीटेक्स हैं और राइटिंग तुम्हारी नहीं है, डायरेक्टर कोई और है, स्क्रिप्ट कुछ और है, तो वो कलेक्टिव सक्सेस या कलेक्टिव फेलियर हो सकता है. स्टैंड अप में जब तुम जो कर रहे हो और तुम अगर किल कर रहे हो तो तुम्हारा सक्सेस है, और अगर तुम बॉम्ब कर रहे हो तो तुम्हारा फेलियर है. इट्स वेरी इंडिविजुअल वर्सेस टीम. दैट्स अ ग्रेट पॉइंट. इससे रिलेटेड मुझे आपसे एक सवाल ये पूछना था कि हम सब जो भी कॉमेडियंस हैं स्लैश एक्टर्स हैं स्लैश क्रिएटर्स, हमको बहुत सारे मैसेजेस लोग करते हैं, उसमें से एक बहुत ही थीम रहता है कि सर और मैम, आई एम आल्सो अ राइटर एंड आई वांट टू स्टार्ट, where to start, what to do, etc, etc, etc. And I think you will be the perfect person to give some sort of an advice or some sort of a how do I say suggestion slash जो भी आप कहना चाहती हैं कि जो भी अभी fiction writing शुरू कर रहा है, what do you think are do's and don'ts for such young writers or even old writers जो शुरू कर रहे हैं?
For fiction you're saying? For fiction, what is, if you're starting writing right now, okay, what are the do's and don'ts you said? The do's will definitely watch, and this works for stand up also, is that if you watch a lot of like stand up, if you're doing stand up, watch a lot of movies and shows. Like it genuinely, your knowledge is going to help you. Like it can't, like it won't like not help you. Know the rules of writing. It is very important to know the rules. I'm talking about fiction right now. It has rules, like drama has rules. You should know them. Now a lot of people argue, but we like to break them, या हम नहीं traditional way follow करना चाहते हैं. Very good, well done. But do it after you know the rules. You should know what you're breaking also. Like it can't be random. जैसे बहुत लोग, I mean, I don't want to say this, but the thing is that things that are successful after breaking rules also fiction wise are writers who were very aware of what they're doing. Like they were very aware of what rule they were breaking. For example, Seinfeld broke rule, right? Like sitcom ka rule, it broke the structure, but it was done so well, it was done so tastefully, and the writers were so aware what they were doing. So just know what you're doing. So know the rules, read a lot about it, actually genuinely watch movies that you want to watch, where that you are interested, like the genre that you're interested in, watch shows genuinely. And also now very recently I've realized that in fiction writing, stand up आप lazy हो सकते हो genuinely, like you, because as I'm saying that it serves your purpose, you need to have a work ethic of going to a club or an open mic every night. But with writing, it requires more discipline. Like it requires for you to genuinely read and genuinely know your shit. For example, look, like very basic things, like people have told me you need to read scripts. Like you need to read scripts of other writers. You need to read both good scripts and you need to read both and bad scripts. You need to know what didn't work also. Like, or if the script was good, what was it that went wrong with the execution of it? So read scripts, watch the scripts you've read. It's very difficult too because इसमें बहुत discipline लगता है, but as a writer you just need more discipline. I don't know how to say it. It's just it won't happen if you don't put in the genuine work.
Which brings me to the other aspect of your life, which is stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that you, as a stand-up comedian, I'm not that passionate a stand-up comedian. I don't understand, like you said, the rules, the structure, stage, setup, punchline. But I know that you are you're one of those stand-up comedians who tries and performs every day, who has released many videos, who watches a lot of stand-up comedy. So stand-up comedy nerd is a term that we can use for you. बट मुझे लाइक अगर मैं पूछ रहा हूँ या कोई भी जो लाइक मेरी तरह या मेरे से थोड़ा कम, क्योंकि मैं थोड़ा बहुत कॉमेडी कर लेता हूँ, जो बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहे, वो अगर आपसे पूछे कि क्या है स्टैंड अप, लाइक व्हाट इज स्टैंड अप, व्हाट इज हाउ डू यू राइट स्टैंड अप, और लाइक व्हाट इज देयर अ साइंस, or is it just like, or there is no science, it's just someone being funny? How do you use the stage, what is the setup, what is the punchline, how to write joke, वगैरह वगैरह. Do you want to tell such viewers or audience इस बारे में कुछ about your perspective of stand-up comedy?
Stand-up also requires discipline. It requires for you to go every night to workshop your material. The thing about stand-up is the reason why I can't speak as clearly about stand-up rules and stuff as fiction versus fiction, because it's such a, like everyone's approach is so different to it. Like if everybody, like for example you and me, like just like you just said, आपने कहा कि मैं तो नहीं इतना देखता स्टैंड अप, या मैं तो नहीं करता, फिर भी नंबर 1 कर रहा है आपका वीडियो. So like you see how it is such, it's so open, like it allows everybody to do whatever like they want to do, right? Like it's open to interpretation. Like जो मुझे funny लगता है आपको funny नहीं लगता. जो I know it's the same for fiction, but like I said कि वहाँ थोड़े से set rules है. Like stand-up में बहुत ही like ऐसा है कि enjoy yourself, like do what you want to do. But talking about work ethic, you still need to go up on stage and not waste your stage time. Don't go up on stage and be bitter. Like that's one thing I've realized. Like आप stage पे जाके don't hate on the audience on stage. Do it if it's funny. But don't do it like 60 times in the night saying that तुम्हें ही नहीं लग रहा funny, तुम्हें ही नहीं लग रहा, ठीक है? ये तो हमेशा ही के करता है, मुझे पता है. Like go with an agenda is very recently, like बस लॉकडाउन से पहले मैंने डिसाइड किया था ये रूल्स अपने लिए, फिर लॉकडाउन हो गया. तो बेसिकली जो रूल्स है वो ये है कि स्टेज पे जाऊंगी तो एजेंडा लेके जाऊंगी कि ये एजेंडा है. अगर सपोज रात का एजेंडा ये कि आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू हैव फन, तो गो हैव फन. बट इफ यू आर गोइंग टू ट्राई न्यू जोक्स देन डू इट. Like talking from a comic to comic, you know, when we go for open mics or trying on stage, we go with new jokes in our head and then we chicken out. क्योंकि नहीं चल रहा है तो ठीक है, नहीं करते, पुराना मटेरियल कर लेते हैं, निकल जाते हैं यहाँ से. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my station very like I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to waste it too much on addressing the room. Like ये room में ये चल रहा है, ये चल रहा है, ये चल रहा है. I'll keep it more towards my material. Like I like to try my material, see if it works, because there is only one thing to stand up. You know you're funny. We know you're funny. Now write jokes. Like writing jokes is very important. Every time writing jokes, improving them, and that happens only with stage time. Like writing आप घर पे बैठ के every day कर सकते हो, लेकिन stand up नहीं कर सकते without an audience. Like there is no way it happens. You can watch a lot of stand up, you can read about it, but it requires stage. Like if there is anyone who wants to do stand up, there's only one thing you can do about it. You just have to be on stage. The funny thing about stand up is the more ignorant you are, the more funny you are, because you don't need, the less you know. अगर आपने भी नोटिस किया होगा, जो बच्चों को बहुत कम पता होता है वो बहुत फनी होते हैं, क्योंकि उनको कोई इनहिबिशंस ही नहीं होते ना. उनको उनको नॉलेज ही नहीं उनके पास लाइफ में. तो it generally doesn't require so much education. It requires stage time. It requires less inhibitions. You need to trust yourself more. You need to trust your instincts more. Stand up is so much about instincts. It's so much about relying on like what is funny. Like अगर आप रूम में बहुत सारे कॉमिक्स के साथ भी हैंग आउट कर रहे हो तो सबको फनी होना है, बस सबको like just go, like you just have to do that. And that like you know that people who've been doing stand up for years are more funny, not because they're more funny but because their instincts is very trained. Like they know कि मैं ये बोलूंगी तो ये इस पे हंसी आएगी cause 20 बार आ चुकी है तो ये 21 बार तो आएगी. Like so for me like stand up is a lot about training your instincts and just believing in yourself and like not having too much inhibitions on stage.
Which ये आपने मुझे एक बात बीच में बहुत अच्छी याद आ गई, मुझे ताकिर ने बोला था एक बार, which is कि because he played सितार for so many years and then he started doing stand up. उसने बोला म्यूजिक और स्टैंड अप में सबसे बड़ा फर्क यही है कि मैं दिन रात सितार रियाज कर सकता हूँ घर पे बैठ के, पूरे दिन महीनों तक कर सकता हूँ, मुझे किसी की जरूरत नहीं है. बट मैं स्टैंड अप एक बार भी नहीं कर सकता अकेले बैठ के, मुझे चाहिए ऑडियंस. तो वो एक बहुत 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 बढ़िया बात बोली आपने. तो मेरा आपने ये भी बोला कि you watch a lot of shows and stand-ups, etc. For anyone who wants to understand stand-up, can you give me an example of एक दो ऐसे special या like first thing that someone should watch who has never watched stand-up? Any special that you think? I'll come to it later also. But ऐसा what to watch अगर कोई आके आपसे पूछे या मैं ही पूछ रहा हूँ कि मैं नहीं देख पाता था, क्या लगता है कि क्या like any recommendation that you have which is like यार ये तो देख ही लो, top recommendation?
Like I think you need no recommendation. ठीक है, ट्रेन करना बंद करो.
अगर मतलब एक एवरेज इंसान अगर आपसे पूछे कि मुझे कुछ स्टैंड अप देखना है, बताओ क्या देखना चाहिए अकॉर्डिंग टू यू?
हाँ, बहुत यू डिस्कवर स्टैंड अप से स्टैंड अप निकलता है. ये देख लिया, फिर ये देख लिया, फिर ये देख लिया. एक तो यू विल फाइंड योर कॉमिक्स, लाइक यू विल फाइंड वन. पहले 5 स्पेशल देख लो, तुमको पता चल जाएगा कि मुझे ये कॉमिक ज्यादा, दूसरा कॉमिक ज्यादा पसंद है, तो आई विल वॉच हिम और हर फर्स्ट. एंड देन यू विल रियलाइज कि ऐसे 5 और है, so then you start watching them also. The very basic starting point could be you can start with the very famous ones because you can't go wrong with the very famous ones. Like you can't go wrong with Bill Burr. Like क्या मतलब है, बढ़िया जोक्स है, देख लो. You can't go wrong with Dave Chappelle. You can't go wrong with somebody like Michelle Wolf. She's very funny. Can't go wrong with someone like Taylor Tomlinson. She's very new. She's a newer comic, but she's very, very funny. You can't go wrong with someone so funny as Anthony Jeselnik. Like क्या ही नहीं पसंद है like इतने funny comics में. So you can start there. One comic जिसका special is so good and like my mind was blown away because every line is just like so perfect, is John Mulaney. He's very famous. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but John Mulaney का whatever you can watch, please watch. It's really funny.
इसमें मुझे जो बात बहुत अच्छी ये लगी कि सबको एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप की कॉमेडी पसंद आती है. तो जब आप 4-5 स्पेशल देख लेते हो, फिर आपको लग जाता है कि ये वाला जम रहा है, इस टाइप का नहीं पसंद. स्पेशली एक टॉपिक जो बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, जैसे आपका नाम काफी एसोसिएटेड है, इसलिए मैं उस टॉपिक पे आ रहा हूँ, व्हिच इज डार्क कॉमेडी. ओके, ठीक है. अभी लोग बोलते हैं कि डार्क कॉमेडी, मुझे नहीं पता, आप ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा बेटर एक्सप्लेन करोगे, बट पीपल से कि डार्क कॉमेडी पे हंसी नहीं आती, बट वो बहुत जीनियस है, बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, या फिर अरे ये डार्क कॉमेडी है. मुझे नहीं समझता जेन्युइनली. सो आई वुड वांट, or a lot of I've seen a lot of shows where there's a dark comedy lineup and you're invariably always there. So I want to understand your what is dark comedy in general, what is dark comedy for you. Yeah, we'll take it from there and then I'll have some questions.
Dark comedy के बारे में I just like to say that the best comics who do like the best dark jokes don't call themselves dark. I don't think they think about themselves as ये तो क्या dark joke लिखा है मैंने, like ये मजे आते, उनके लिए वो jokes है. They don't call it like that's how they look at it. That's their perspective of the world. Like you can't say कि मेरा perspective, जैसे किसी ने कहा ना your perspective dark है, वो dark नहीं है भाई, तुम नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं होगा. Like I don't think you can reverse engineer jokes. Like you can't sit and you can't think आज मैं abortion की ऊपर jokes लिखूंगी. Like you can't. The joke has to come to you. Like you think about the joke first and then the punchline. You can't write punchline first. You can't be like, today I write about this dark thing that it can't be. Or you're thinking about that, or you're thinking about that's an event that happened, like which was tragic. And you think about it because your perspective, because for you to make reason of the world is jokes, right? Like जब हम भी मतलब banter कर रहे होते हैं, after a point you have to make a joke to like just laugh, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to you. So if अगर आप कोई tragic event के बारे में बात कर रहे हो और आपके दिमाग ने कोई joke कह दिया, now you have to try it on stage. Like now you're wasting this joke. Like I don't think people think about the tragic event first. You know what I mean? Like they don't think about कि इस पे मैं joke लिखूंगी. They think about the joke first. It just comes. You can't train your brain. So I don't think dark comedy is something people say themselves. I think other people look at them and go, oh, dark comedy. Correct. That's my genuine take on dark comedy. I don't think you can be a good dark comedian if you call yourself a dark comedian. It just won't be possible.
Wow. That is correct. ये तो वो वाली बात होगी ना कि जैसे फिक्शन शोज वगैरह में लोग दिखाते हैं कि मिडिल क्लास फैमिली है, तो वो मिडिल क्लास फैमिली है, उनको बताना नहीं पड़ता है, या वो कैरेक्टर बार बार आके बोलता नहीं है कि गाइस हम मिडिल क्लास हैं और इसलिए हम ये कर रहे हैं. मिडिल क्लास तो ऐसे ही करते हैं, नहीं ये बाकी लोग बोलते हैं बाहर वाले देख के, वो अपनी दुनिया में है, वो मिडिल क्लास अपर क्लास ये वो बाहर से दिख रहा है, वो खुद बोलते नहीं है कि हम अमीर लोग हैं तो हम ऐसा करते हैं, नहीं वो वैसे ही रहते हैं यार, हम बाहर से देख के बोल रहे हैं कि वो अमीर आदमी ऐसे रहते हैं. बट या ब्यूटीफुल. So I want your take on Pushpawali, because Pushpawali के बारे में हमने बहुत सुना. It's one of the most acclaimed and most popular shows that a comedian has created, amongst other great shows as well. But like I've been थोड़ा सा associated with Pushpawali. You are one of the main writers behind Pushpawali, and we've heard like what other opinions on Pushpawali. But I'm very curious about how do you, as one of the writers of the show and who has spent a lot of time working on the show behind the scene mostly, how do you perceive that show? What is your take on Pushpawali?
मेरे लिए the show is very very personal, because it also comes during the time of a very personal loss. So the show gave me so much, like things to look forward to, things to basically keep going. Like the first season, I'm so thankful to the first season. I have so much gratitude for the first season, and of course the second season also did very well. For me to complete the show, to be with the show to from start to the end was so important, and it paid back. Like it was like, you know, like how you feed your child and then your child grows up and gives you back food. Like it was that for me. Like I've realized with fiction shows कि फिक्शन शोज में अगर आपने इन्वेस्ट कर दिया तो वो आपको बहुत टाइम तक इन्वेस्टमेंट का रिटर्न देते हैं. सो फॉर मी Pushpawali, I personally think of it as like my show as well. Like I genuinely love it a lot. Like I don't think I'll be able to like any show more than Pushpawali, genuinely, because it saved me. It genuinely did. Because I remember I told Smokhi ke ye show ho gaya, फिर मैं quit कर दूंगी सब कुछ. Like what do you think? Should I do advertising? And she said, yes, you should do advertising, but first finish the show and then take a call. And then so it gave me some months to just like, you know, look forward and just keep doing it.
Talking of shows, Sumaira, a lot of us associate कि हम comedians हैं या comedy writers हैं तो हम comedy ही देखते होंगे. But I know for a fact that you enjoy watching crime shows. You're obsessed with like crime and like serial killers, etc., etc. Is there any reason you're obsessed with them? Does that help you with writing as such, or you've studied psychology? You have.
Yes.
So, what is this interest with crime shows, psychology, serial killers, etc.? Like, is it just personal or it is also professional?
Crime shows. I like watching serial killer documentaries a lot. Unhealthy amount of just serial killer documentaries. Why do I like मैंने psychology पढ़ी है, that is true. मुझे counselor बनना था, therapist बनना था basically, which I then after college I just didn't. I was like, nahin, stand up definitely will try stand up before I do this. In my head, I don't know if this probably is flawed, but in my head both were just going American. Either do therapy or go American, or become a comedian, go American. The therapy I'm telling why is because जब हम books पढ़ते थे, वो books सारी अमेरिका की होती थी. Like हमारे सारे textbook, it was all stats of America. There was like because India का कोई stats नहीं था. We studied just whatever happened like in the different cities and states of America. And stand up, when we were researching, it was also very like the whatever like these American comics. I was like, यार करना ये तो खुद के लिए कुछ करती हूँ ना सबसे पहले. I don't want to like do so. I don't know why I went in this weird tangent, but basically what I was trying to say is that psychology doesn't have anything to do with me watching serial killers. Like it definitely started the conversation, like psychopaths in psychology, where I studied about them. It was very beautiful because हम सारे disorders के बारे में पढ़ाई करते थे, फिर बाद में नीचे आ रहा था what you can do to cure it, like whatever, like a big paragraph. Psychopathy के ऊपर लिखा था there is no cure, moving on. So like it genuinely was just like, come on, कुछ नहीं हो सकता इन लोगों का, let's move on. So it is such a bizarre like thing, like there's this person जिसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता, but this person also likes to kill. Like what do you do? Like you have empathy, they don't have empathy. It's such a weird conflict that they also have with society, right? Like because I love watching their interviews where they are like, तो मार डालो ना हमें, because हम तो कुछ कर ही सकते हैं. Like we don't feel anything genuinely. Every time I watch the documentary I feel sick and really bad, but I love watching because it's just a fix. Like it's such a drug to your brain. And Kautuk is another person who loves watching serial killer documentaries. So मैंने उसे एक बार कॉल करके पूछा था कि ऐसा क्या है? Why do we watch this and why do we do this to ourselves? तो उसने कहा था something very interesting. He said, because serial killers are perfect protagonists. Because a protagonist is basically a person who can do something extra special that everybody else can't, right? Like immediately that person has very protagonist type vibe to them. So serial killers have that vibe to them. Ki you of course don't want to kill people, but if you wanted to also, you can't. You can't go out and kill 50 people and be okay with it. And they're just genuinely okay with it. So that plus the second very strong reason for me is because it's a very real horror story. Like लोग भूत की कहानियां तो सुनते हैं, लेकिन क्या भूत रियल है? Don't worry, serial killers real है. They will find you. If they can, they will kill you. So that is why I like watching, because it's a real possibility. But it won't happen, don't worry. But also you're scared.
Yeah.
So it's very that.
Wow. Crime से मुझे मेरे एक बहुत ही favorite topic पे मैं आना चाहता हूँ, which is where you're from. Okay, because I was as a child growing up watching a lot of Bollywood movies, and some of my favorite movies are like underworld movies like Satya or The Company, etc., etc. So I was sort of obsessed with Mumbai underworld and like the world of Dawood Ibrahim and his story. And I read the book Dongri to Dubai and like everything possible, any literature or media possible on there. And then when I used to be always obsessed कि यार ये बॉम्बे की दुनिया कैसी होती होगी यार, मुझे कभी बम्बई जाना है, देखना है. और बॉम्बे या दिल्ली, कोई भी ऐसा बड़ा शहर एक्चुअली एक शहर नहीं होता, बहुत से शहर होते हैं. लाइक मुंबई में लाइक बांद्रा एक शहर है, मलाड एक और शहर है, अंधेरी एक अलग ही शहर है. आप जहाँ से आते हो, विच इज लाइक मेरे लिए वो बहुत ही टूरिस्ट साइट था जब मैं बॉम्बे आया था, कि मुझे एक बार जाके डोंगरी देखना है. और कहा तो मैं कबूतर खाना और ऐसे ऐसे वर्ड, भिंडी बाजार, ये सब मैंने पढ़े थे इतने साल तक, और वो सब फाइनली मैंने देखा. तो आई वांट टू लाइक जस्ट आस्क यू, लाइक हाउ डज इट फील बीइंग born and brought up in that environment where these names are frequently used around you and like you've grown up around this? Has it had like उसका कुछ फर्क पड़ा है लाइफ में, या like I'm just very curious about how you grew up in this middle of all this.
This is my belief, like I don't know, like at least at my experience, like you grow up in Dongri, right? Like just you said Bhindi Bazaar, my nanny still stays in Bhindi Bazaar. Like matlab bachpan se we go to, like still stays in Bhindi Bazaar. The thing is that when you live over here and grow up over here and you listen to Dawood, like हाँ हम सब Dawood, like कोई के कुछ generations के लोग तो मतलब जानते ही है Dawood को, right? Like ऐसे ही बस whatever. You think it's normal, you think यही तो है normal, like बाहर की दुनिया तो नहीं है, like this is right, this is. And then like in school it was like यही है, बस यही है life, like what is this is normal, this is how you are. And I went to college and that's when I realized that okay, Dongri or like Bhindi Bazaar, people have very like different थोड़ा सा reaction to it, like surprise or sometimes even like questions. Like जैसे मैं एक joke करती हूँ अपने show में, और वो joke है basically कि डोगरी का नाम सुनते ही लोग कहते थे ओह तो दाऊद तो जानती होगी, like as it sometimes as a joke or sometimes even as like curiosity, like genuine curiosity, like हाँ हाँ of course. And then like the joke is कि of course मेरा तो video call हर शाम को होता है सर के साथ. Like that's not the truth, guys. In college, see, when you're a teenager, you have very low self-esteem. So when I was in college, I thought कि यार मैं क्यों डोंगरी से, like fuck, I don't want to be from डोंगरी, I want to be from, like you just, you're like नहीं यार, मतलब हमारे पास बहुत basic चीजें क्यों नहीं है यार. Like that was, and that now I realize that that is what will make me unique. College में थोड़ा सा I had like low self-esteem because of it. Like I was like whatever, like with like my, of course, South Bombay friends, with like my Dongri, I have two personalities. With my Dongri friends or people who were from my school or from this area, it was very different. Like, and that is the personality that I have on stage also, by the way, because with these boys and with these girls, you couldn't be not aggressive to get power in conversation. Like I like to do jokes back then also, लेकिन आप इन लड़कों के साथ ऐसी jokes नहीं कर सकते, मतलब कि थोड़ा सा, what do you call it, like you have to be aggressive, like you have to be like नहीं अब मेरे joke की बारी, अब सुनना पड़ेगा तुम्हें थोड़ा सा, like you have to, and then they would listen to you, like they would be like, oh okay, you speak. So that is like that aggression, or that like sort of like you have to listen to me, is like the personality on stage also, which is also sort of real, like very real me. And the personality I had in college was very different, was very soft spoken, was a very this girl who was like मैं तो नहीं हूँ funny, like आप बोलिए आपको जो बोलना है, मतलब मैं तो बहुत cultured हूँ actually, हमारे घर में कोई नहीं चिल्लाता, which is not the truth. College was very interesting, two personalities every day.
Okay, talking of personalities, मैं अपना last question आपके लिए जो है वो है कि ऑफ लेट सोसाइटी में और कॉमेडी में भी, क्योंकि सोसाइटी की जो प्रॉब्लम्स है वही कॉमेडी की प्रॉब्लम्स है, ऑल्दो कॉमेडी के अंदर हमको लगता है बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, बट वो चाहे जो भी हम बात करें, चाहे हम वो जेंडर की बात करें, कास्ट की बात करें, रिलीजन की बात करें, वो हमारे वर्ल्ड ओवर और इंडिया ओवर भी वही प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो कॉमेडी में, ऐसा हम कुछ बहुत यूनिक नहीं है इन मामलों में. बट यू दो चीजें जो हमेशा ऑब्वियसली इंडिया में भी काफी बात होती है और कॉमेडी में भी होती है, व्हिच इज वन इज अबाउट जेंडर बेस्ड, which is like women power or like women getting opportunities, women in comedy, etc., etc. And then of course there has been a lot of discussions and narratives around religion in this country, where there people talk about Hindu Muslim and like minority versus majority, right wing, left wing, वगैरह वगैरह. I don't want to go there, but in terms of, and we can't escape identity no much, मतलब हम कितनी भी कोशिश कर लें, तो मैं एक लड़का हूँ, आप एक लड़की हैं, कि सबका कास्ट कुछ रिलीजन कुछ, हम जितना भी चाहें, और कोशिश की है बहुत लोगों ने, और मे बी कभी हो भी पाएगा, बट आइडेंटिटी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ हु वी आर. Okay, and that defines sort of what we go through, what opportunities we get sometimes, on how much effort we have to put here, there, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. You are minority in that sense, in both in terms of your gender and your religion.
Yeah.
आपको कभी लगा in terms of specific to comedy and your profession over the last few years? I remember you started way back when you were an intern at AIP. I think that was the first time we saw you. So from then to now being one of the biggest names in Indian comedy, throughout this, did you ever feel any factor, advantage, disadvantage, normal, abnormal, etc., of you being a woman and you being a Muslim?
Advantage and disadvantages of but I completely agree with the fact that your identity is like, what can you do, that's who you are. It definitely impacts your everyday life. Yes, I started with interning at AIB. I did internship with Sanfabesh, then Bheti, then Pushpawali, so that was my writing journey, and then stand-up of course kept happening. So basically identity के बारे में मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी that I'm a female Muslim comic in the Indian comedy scene. When I walked into the scene, I was treated as royalty. I'm sorry, like it was just like female comics आ गई है यार, मतलब wow, मजे आ, like yes, तुम्हें तो मिलना चाहिए representation. And that time, like I started with Uruj, so we both started thinking कि यार हम तो comics हैं. फिर जैसे ही हमने scene में से मतलब कदम रखे, and they were like नहीं आप female comics हो, ठीक है, आपको spots तो हम दिला के रहेंगे आपको spots, आपको कॉमेडी सीरियसली लेनी होगी. The thing is that we तो wanted to, I mean, I तो wanted to be a comic, but then when they gave me like नहीं आप female हो, आपको तो मिलने चाहिए spots, I took it. I was like, yeah, of course, give it to me. Like, why would I not be like, don't give me spots, or don't give me like the extra stage time, not extra, but like stage time that I'm getting. Give it to me, like I'll take it. Like I think there are two sides to this. The first one side is that you do get things like because you're so unique, you immediately catch people's eye. Like वो देखा वो मुस्लिम है, वो फीमेल है, देखा उसे वो जो नई कॉमिक आई है, like जो दो नई कॉमिक्स आई है, whatever. You do get that also, but you also get like your peers not liking you so much because they're like, अच्छा तो are you a good comic or are you getting this because you know, like there's always that in the air, like, and you don't want that. You want comics to respect you, want your peers to respect you, right? Like in the beginning to for sure, like I think this happens later on in every professional life, I think, where you stop caring about other people. Like you are like me, I like to do my work and this is me. I don't care what other people say or the comics say. But in the beginning, it's so important that you get everybody's validation. You get everybody should like me. I don't think everybody liked us or me in the beginning, but now I found my people to be friends with, and I found people, and then I found peace. Ki they are just some people you'll never get along with, and you should just be professional. That's all. Ki haan, theek hai, if we're sharing green room, then we should just not basically get in each other's way. But otherwise, yes, bitterness will always rub on you as a comic of other people. Sometimes you're bitter also and sad in the green room. Sometimes that will rub off on other people. Like I'm not saying I have not been bitter. I have been in green rooms, but it's at the end of the day, joke is more important than anything else in stand-up. Like this is not my quote. This is Colin Quinn's quote. He's a comic and he says the thing about, I'm paraphrasing, the thing about stand-up is that it comes closest to justice because only jokes win on stage. Nothing else wins. Stand-up is going to come through. If you're funny, nobody can stop you. That's it.
Wow.
There's nothing.
Wow. Okay, thank you, Sumana. We had a very nice, long conversation about a lot of things. Now I'm going to my favorite section, which is rapid fire round. Okay, first ever rapid fire of this series. Rapid fire का बहुत simple rule है कि आपसे मैं कुछ सवाल पूछूंगा और आपको बिना सोचे जवाब देना. That's the only rule. ठीक है?
Okay, got it.
क्योंकि हम सबको पता है कि हम सोच के दें तो शायद हमारा जवाब कुछ और हो सकता है. अगर कोई मुझसे फेवरेट मूवी पूछता है तो मैं 10 मिनट लेके 10 और मूवी बोल सकता हूँ. फट से उठाए कोई पूछेगा तो मैं कुछ भी आ सकता है, पता नहीं. तो whole point is top of mind. ठीक है?
Got it.
So whenever you're ready. Are you ready?
I am ready to destroy my career.
नहीं नहीं. तो हम rapid fire करेंगे और फिर we'll go back to all your answers and we'll see if there's any need to discuss anything.
Got it. ठीक है.
Okay, cool. There are 10 questions. We'll start now.
Okay.
Here is rapid fire with Samara Sheikh. Favorite character that you've written.
T-boy.
Favorite TV show / web series of all time.
Yeah, ये तो you also The Wire because it's just is.
The Wire.
Everybody likes it, but yes, I also like it.
Favorite thing about growing up in Mumbai.
Favorite thing about growing up in Mumbai. Rains.
Rains.
I genuinely like rains. मुझे तो मुंबई की बारिश बहुत पसंद.
Favorite Indian comedian.
Favorite Indian comedian. Oh God. Fuck. Favorite Indian comedian. There's so many. I like so many. God.
One. Quickly.
Sumukhi Suresh.
No, apart from Sumukhi Suresh and Kumar Varun. These are very safe answers.
Yeah, these are very.
Because I knew you would say Sumukhi Suresh or me.
Okay.
Let me rephrase the question. Favorite Indian comedian apart from Sumukhi Suresh and Kumar Varun.
Biswa Kalendrat.
Okay. The thing you like the most about Pushpavati.
It's so honest. The character is so honest.
The thing you hate the most about Pushpavati.
मेरे jokes क्यों निकाले? मुझे अभी बताओ. Jokes क्यों निकाले उस joke से?
Okay.
Is story more important? I don't think so. Anyways, moving on.
Most underrated Indian comedian.
Underrated मैं.
Most underrated Indian comedian except you.
No, most underrated Indian comedian except for me is Shashwat Maheshwari. I love his comedy. Please watch it. He's not underrated though.
Most overrated Indian comedian.
Saurabh Ghosh. It's not the truth. It is not the truth at all. He also knows that.
Best stand-up special that you've ever seen.
Stand-up special. I'll say the last one I watched. I really liked it. That's why Anthony Jeselnik's Fire in the Maternity Ward. It's really good.
Anthony Jeselnik. Okay. Last question. Worst thing about Indian comedy.
Worst thing about Indian comedy, I think it lacks on some level some unity. I think we need more unity. I think we need to be a little bit more about I want to look out for other people.
Oh,
That's all.
Cool, great performance. We'll get back to all the questions quickly, okay? Favorite character that you've written is T-Boy, which we already discussed shuru mein, because you relate to the character, etc. Favorite TV show of all time is The Wire. Do you want to talk about The Wire? Why you like The Wire so much?
एक तो मैं कह दूं कि it's not a very uncommon answer. I'm sure it's very common answer. It's a very common answer. ठीक है. But so when I started watching Wire, it was also like, अरे इतना common, मतलब everybody likes it. What is it? And then I got too engrossed. Like I got too involved. I don't even know what it is. So the thing is that दूसरे shows के बारे में आप बात कर सकते हो, जैसे character बहुत अच्छा है ये वो. But The Wire के बारे में, the city is the character, and then you can't leave. Like it's just this, and I've also read about like the show otherwise. The people who acted also, like the actors also, were so taken in by the show that they couldn't leave as actors. Like they have contributed so much to the development of the city after that. It's just such an addictive show. People have moved to that city after the show. So it is because it's written with such great detail and depth about the city that you just fall in love with the city and everything that is wrong with it. And I really like the worldview of the creators, that they are not trying to fix anything with the show. They just let it be. They're like, ab ye hai. Like I don't think they give any solution in the end. Ki fir sab kuch theek ho gaya, guys. Nothing. Like it's still the same, and it's so beautiful. That's all.
Okay, you said favorite thing about growing up in Mumbai is rains. हाँ, Bombay के rains तो मतलब movies में बचपन से देख रहे हैं. From Satya to Tal to हाँ बोलिए.
Yeah, I know that Mumbai ki rains can be very annoying because बहुत flooding, मतलब बस 4 घंटा हुई and all your plans are cancelled. Like I completely understand, but you have to understand that मेरा love for rain is बचपन. It's not adulthood. Like adulthood में you have to cancel plans and whatever. But बचपन में school cancel होती थी और उससे बेहतर क्या हो सकता है? Like that is why Mumbai rains are the best.
Favorite Indian comedian except Sumukhi and me is Biswa. Yes. You really like Biswa?
Yeah. Biswa is the what I was talking about. Like uska koi inhibitions nahi hote stage pe. He's very funny. He's just funny. He's just like, this is it. ये मुझे funny लगता है. मैं ऐसे बात करूँगा. That is all I like, and I love that about it. I laugh like aloud the most when Biswa is performing because he's so himself. It is so much fun to watch him.
The thing you like the most about Pushpavali is its honesty. Why do you say that?
It is, to honest people's always reaction after watching Pushpavali is like, why were feeling so many emotions while watching that show? Like it is because it's so much into the psyche of the character, and we are all hypocrites, and you can see Pushpavali is such a hypocrite because you're in her brain, in her head. So that's why I feel like that's one of that was what I think the writers could achieve. That is what the writers achieved with the show, that they got the character right.
Wow. Okay. One thing you hate about Pushpavali is तुम्हारे jokes क्यों हटाए?
क्यों निकाले? Yeah, I want to ask via this podcast मेरे jokes क्यों निकाले? Like रात के 3 बजे मेरे jokes क्यों हटाए जा रहे? I tell you why. The thing is that sometimes the story is not going forward, but there is just this extra joke that the character is saying, and then they were like, maybe not. शायद हमें नहीं करना चाहिए joke. तो रात को 3 बजे, रात के 2 बजे के बाद राइटर्स बस लड़ने लगते हैं ना एक दूसरे से. So after 2 it was just like लैपटॉप फेंक रहे हम एक दूसरे पे कि तू लिख ले, ठीक है, तू just I think you are a better writer.
Most underrated Indian comedian, you said Shashwat.
एक बार मुझे ये पहले भी किसी ने पूछा था आपके हिसाब से underrated कौन है, और मैंने पता नहीं क्यों अनिर्बन का नाम लिया था. अनिर्बन is not underrated. Like even Anirban was like, I don't think he reacted, but he was just like whatever. So and I don't think Shashwat is underrated, but I just think that he like अगर मुझे 4-5 comics का अगर you would have asked, Shashwat is definitely on that list of like my favorite, one of the favorite comics. I don't know about the underrated title, but people need to watch him. Like they just need to. Yeah. People do also actually. They do, but I'm saying he's very funny. Like I really like him.
Yeah. Most overrated Indian comedian. You said Saurabh Ghosh.
Yeah. Saurabh Ghosh, please stop it. Stop going viral, Saurabh Ghosh.
Okay. Best stand-up special of all time, you said Anthony Jeselnik's. What was the name again?
Fire in the Maternity Ward.
Fire in the Maternity Ward. Is it available on Netflix too?
It is on Netflix. Yes.
Last thing you said was worst thing about Indian comedy is its unity.
Yeah, we're not united.
Why do you mean like united? In what sense?
I think every time something happens, we jump to the conclusions very fast without like really either don't jump to. Maybe you should also sometimes not. That is my thing with a lot of comics. Maybe हमें हर बार बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, but anyways, but I feel like we can have a little bit more of looking out for each other.
Cool. Okay, that brings us to the end of our episode with Sumaira Sheikh. Thank you, Sumaira, for being here. I hope you like being on Random Musings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Kumar.
Bye,
Thanks a
Sumaira.
lot for having me. This was too much fun, genuinely. Bye.
If you are on YouTube right now, the series is also available on audio-only platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. The links are all in the description. You can check them out. Thank you for watching or listening to Random Musings. Please subscribe to Random Chickabum on YouTube. Please also check out Sumaira Sheikh on YouTube. You'll find a lot of stand-up videos there. Check out Pushpavali on Amazon Prime. Check out Behti Naak on YouTube. And a lot of other things that we refer to. We'll put most of the things in the description on YouTube, so you can check all of them out. We'll see you next week with a new guest. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe to Kumar Varan's YouTube channel. Please watch this podcast wherever it's available. But also, most importantly, follow me because I'm the most important person right now. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. That's all. Thank you so much for watching.